Welcome to today's video, guys. I know in the last video I told you what was going on. We got the FD going to the dyno right now. I'm about to hop in and go drive it over there. We're gonna see what power it makes right now with the LS3 with the cam that came with it, and then Freddie's gonna dial it in a little bit, see if we can make a little more power. I'm curious, I have no idea what it's gonna make. Is it gonna make under 400s? Is it gonna make high 400s? I don't know anything about V8s. In addition to that, we are throwing the Chaser back on the dyno with the refreshed engine. Now, compared to last time, it's got the BC264 cams out of the other setup, springs, retainers from Brian Crower, and it also has a G30-660 versus the G25-660. Should make about the same power, but hopefully breathe a little bit better up top, maybe see a little bit better numbers on pump gas, and instead of having a graph that goes, hopefully a graph that goes, yeah, like that. So we're about to head out. It's been a rush, but everybody's been killing it. We got it all under control. Before we head to the dyno, I want to give a massive shout out to one of my biggest sponsors on the channel. As you guys already know, Ring. Ring helps me wherever I am protect both my home and my shop with their smart video doorbells and their security cameras. As I've shown you guys, I could be away and I could see what cars are on the list to figure out if I gotta move some around to get a certain car out. It's got two-way audio. I can hear what's going on. I can talk to everyone in the shop. And I could do the same thing with a camera that's built into the video doorbell at my home. In addition to being able to look at the cameras, it's convenient if I ever need to go back in time and figure out if I lost something. We actually used it the other day to figure out where an exhaust manifold gasket went that we lost. I'm personally a big fan of Ring. It's made my life a lot easier, and I think you guys will really like it too. If you guys want to get a special offer on a Ring welcome kit, when you go to ring.com/LZ, it'll give you a deal for both the Ring Video Doorbell 3 and the Chime Pro. It's all you need to start building custom security for your home today. Make sure you go to ring.com/LZ. I'm massively appreciative of Ring, and I think you guys will really like their product. Now let's go to the dyno. Freddie's here. Freddie, are you excited?
Oh yeah.
I'm finally giving you a man's motor to tune.
V8.
All right, what are we gonna make? What's the goal? What's the plan?
420.
Blaze it?
Yes.
All right, so I don't know much about LS's. It is a mid cam, so it's not the super gnarly cam, but it's not the stock cam, but it's like the crate motor with the middle option cam. I've heard people say high 400s. I felt like it was making like low 300s before. I just drove it, felt like it was like maybe 450. But we'll see what it's at, and we'll see what you're able to squeeze out of it. What if you tune it and it makes less power?
Than our guesses?
No, than it does now. What if you make it worse?
You don't know what it makes.
I'm just messing with you. Freddie's so cool. My truck's so big. My smile's even bigger though. All right, Freddie, walk me through the process of tuning a V8. One thing that I don't understand is like, I know that this car's already tuned, but if you had a car that was untuned, I feel like with an LS you have to just like bop and it makes all its grunt right away. So how do you know what it wants?
I don't want to say you guess, but like you do a very educated guess and you add more fuel, less timing to start from. So you over-richen it and you retard the timing a little bit, and then you roll into it pretty heavy, find where it wants to be, and then make adjustments.
So based off the map that you were looking at from this car, would you say mostly you're going to be taking a little fuel out because we both think that it's rich, but how does ignition timing look on it?
It seemed like a little bit on the safer side for ignition timing, so we'll see if the motor's happy with it. Small cams don't like a lot of timing, so it may end up being the same timing that's in it currently, just cleaning up the fuel. We're
gonna make a baseline, see what it's making now. I wish we had a baseline with the crappy spark plugs in it because it probably would have been 100 wheel less, but my guess is right now, dude, it felt spicy. I bet it's already over 400.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure, like 420 probably right now. Imagine 420-660, imagine that. This thing's just stock ECU, so Freddie's just using HP tuners. He said he actually started off tuning a lot of these LS engines, so I'm expecting some very spicy results. Freddie's goal is to make 420, and right off the rip, super rich according to Freddie how it is right now. It made 422.95 and 407 foot-pounds of torque, which is actually really good. It's a nice looking curve. Seems pretty happy. You just gotta dial it in and it should be even happier. How'd it look in the log, Freddie?
Rich.
Yeah?
Like 10.9.
10.9?
10.9.
What do we want this thing at, like mid-11s?
12.5.
Oh yeah, because it's NA.
Yeah, it's NA.
Sick.
12.5 is even on the safer side.
Really?
If it wasn't ethanol, I'd push it close to like 13.
All right, so now that we know this thing makes 420 blaze as a baseline, what do you think it will make turned up? Like 450? More?
Probably like 440.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
I'm gonna go with 450 because it's FD.
Fight me then.
Yeah, okay, I'll fight you. that clip, but one adjustment and the car already picked up another 30 wheel and another 30 foot-pounds of torque. So pretty much the entire curve, it has picked up power. That's amazing. Go, Freddy.
Freddy just cleaned a couple of things up, and you can see it gained a little bit of mid-range up there. But overall, compared to where it started from, a 30 wheel gain all across the board and about 30 foot-pounds of torque across the board is very good.
Rumor has it Marco has a quick little tram we can hop on and go over to Mexico.
Yeah, well, I am Mexican, so I have my passport linked up, and I know a couple people who can just hop over the border and get you taken care of.
What are you taking to Mexico?
Your passenger seat.
But to be fair, Freddy probably needs to look over the...
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll just walk, you know. I got my boots on, so see you over there.
You don't have something...
I'll get a head start, don't worry about it.
I wanted a tandem, bro. I'm sad now. I thought this was a duo thing.
I play hard to get.
Full disclaimer, it is wet out, so this thing's definitely not gonna get much traction. But I can already tell this thing's gonna be fun. Ready? That's what it didn't have before. That. I'm convinced that it was like misfiring before. So it feels loads better. Like I couldn't used to be able to like kind of bum bum bum. You see I was having fun with that little throttle input there? But no, it's loads better. I'm excited. Thank you, Freddy. Thanks for making me change my spark plugs. Here, fill this bowl. You ready? Dude, we're moving. It's like pretty fast. Like it's like this feels way faster than a Corvette for sure. That's pretty cool. It feels good. Do you like it? Do you approve?
I approve.
It's neat. I don't hate it as much as I used to now that it actually does things.
Sounds cooler too.
Yeah. This thing would be really fast on a track. I kind of want to take it to a track. It'd just be hard like to have self-control and not just floor it all the time. This thing's good.
Get over here. You're a little buck. Come here.
What's it?
Come on, just get right here. Come on. We got it all warmed up for you. There you go. Look at you. You're with the boys. You're involved. You're a little moral support.
Look at this man's new shoes.
Man's got a nice butt. Look at that thing.
You hear that? I think it's the downpipe rubbing on the chassis. Over here, it's a very low pitch noise. There's a little more valve train noise, which could just be because of the stiffer springs in this one compared to the other one. That noise just got me a little nervous. I really do think it's just the exhaust though, hopefully. We just need to rebleed a little bit. It was getting a little hot. We forgot to turn the fans on. Kind of a couple different things all combined into a butterfly effect. Look at that new cam gear.
Spicy.
Yep, spicy like your mayo. Keep going. Yeah, I can feel the water's filling up in the bottom hose now. It was all air before. But now it is. Alright. We're chilling now. Since the car on Drift Week is going to be running on pump gas, that's what Freddie's going to focus on first before we start adding the 85 content to it. I'm hoping to make a little bit over 400 this time. Last time I think it was closer to like 390 something, so we shall see. Still got that beautiful Garrett sound, the G30-660 this time, slightly bigger exhaust side, same side compressor. That ain't bad, dude. Almost 400 horsepower on the first rip.
Damn.
480 foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot.
That's rad.
And it's still making peak torque at the same RPM as it did with the small turbo.
Uh-oh.
There was a T. It was like melted. And it was making an overboost. So I changed it. And now it's 350. Same temperature that I make my pizzas at. We're gonna go check in with Fredward and see what boost he's at right now, but I will say I'm very impressed. We went up a frame, went from G25 to G30, kept the same compressor side. It only seems to have moved the peak torque RPM number up like 500 RPM. Before we had peak torque around 4,000 RPM, now we're up closer to like 4,500, which still is phenomenal. And we're already at 393 wheel and 394 torque on pump gas. So you can see he's just kind of adding in a little bit here and there, and it's looking phenomenal, and it's not really falling off that much up top either like it did before. How many boosts?
18.
18? 18. She seems pretty happy compared to before.
Oh yeah, it's way happier.
What did we end on pump gas before?
I think it was like 390 at 21 pounds.
Okay, so another 3 pounds, we're definitely over 400 if we went to the same.
For sure.
That's awesome. It seems happier with the cams though.
It seems happier with the cams and the bigger turbo.
Yeah, the higher RPM looks a lot better now.
It doesn't like, you know, peak and fall.
Yeah. It used to do this, now it does this.
We'll fix that. All right, so Freddie's pretty happy with where it's at on pump gas. We're at 20 pounds, a little bit less than we ran before. We're already at 400 wheel, but that was actually a third gear pull. So when he goes up to fourth, which is actually 1-to-1 on this car, it's gonna naturally make a little bit more power just because of the way how everything works. But he wants to pull a plug, check to make sure the timing's happy. Kind of an old school way to do it, but Freddie's an old school dude. He's got little legs, big aspirations out here. Making power, dude. Oh yeah, making power.
Wow, that's funny how I brought the torque right back to 4,000 RPM now that it's in the proper gear and it's got more load. Yeah, dang it. I guess in theory we could just ramp the boost in.
Yeah.
And not just have the turbo just like come on when it wants to come on, but that's not fun. So we wound up 21 pounds of boost on 93. Razor looks a little choppy just because the tires are bouncing around a little bit, but that's a very good looking graph. It's a lot of torque early on. We're probably gonna mellow it out a little bit once we're on E, but 415 should be great and a big transformation from before. On Drift Week when I had maybe like 320 to 350 wheel with the stock turbo, so it should feel like an entirely different car and rip. We were having issues with the tax signal last time we were here, so I don't have a direct comparison, but this is pump gas to pump gas. G30-660 last time in green to G30-660 this time in red with the addition of BC 264 cams. You can see we lost a little bit of mid-range down here, but picked up quite a bit up top. But this seems to be the most clear representation I could find of the change from before and after.
I'm pulling an all-nighter tonight, guys. I'm flying to California super early in the morning. I got all packing to do. I'm very excited, but like, you know when you're tired because you know that you're gonna go to bed late and have to wake up early?
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yep. I feel
But
you.
I'm so appreciative of everyone here helping and making this happen. It's so spicy, dude. Like, oh, spice my life up, Freddie. Mike actually saved the day. So he came up to me and he was like, man, it's like, is this supposed to be glowing? And I was like, glowing? So I stood here, which I don't like to do on dynos because you never know if something's gonna go wrong with a fan, a belt or something. Never a good idea to stand close. Took a video and the back 3 runners were glowing red. Now, you wanna explain what that means?
That means just like the back 3 cylinders are running a little bit hotter, like leaner. I already have them trimmed 10% more fuel just because of the manifold design. The back 2-3 cylinders usually get more air on an inline 6. So the fact it's doing it means the injectors are pretty
Probably
much
clogged.
dirty. Yeah, a little bit dirty.
Which I wonder, I mean, it's not super likely, but what if the injectors were pretty dirty or one's clogged for whatever reason, and that's what sent the rod through the block?
Possibly.
Like maybe one got clogged, one cylinder ran lean, because it was the back too.
Yeah, I wonder if like Johan kept them in the same order when he put them in.
Oh, actually, so these injectors, I believe, came from the white car. So that kind of rules everything we set out. Something weird's going on. It's late, we're just gonna call it. We wanna be able to go over the car and check it out. We had great luck with RX7. This one's just one of those things. We know now that the setup's awesome, that it makes great numbers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you on the graph real quick. We basically lost nothing going to G30 from G25, which is pretty
Awesome.
sick.
And the cams too.
Yeah, and the cams as well, so that's really rad, but I think it's just time to call it. So if you look at this graph right here, the red one is the new G30-660. The blue one is the G25-660. We didn't lose pretty much anything on spool. Now we have quite a bit less boost in it, so we could actually mimic this same curve, but you can kind of tell by the way that it's following the torque line. What's interesting is it shows how crazy the back pressure must have been before when we can go up a frame, up an exhaust housing size, because we went from a 6.3 to an 8.1, and still be able to follow the same curve. I think I said there's quite a bit less boost in this mid-range, so it would have been very easy for us to follow that curve, but we're trying to play it a little bit safer. But I don't know, whatever's going on with those back 3 cylinders could potentially be something as to why the last engine blew up. So, not sure why, but we're gonna figure it out, revisit that, and we'll let you guys know. I think I'm gonna close this video out here, but super appreciative to Johan Schulman getting this thing done, Freddie for coming out here, tuning at wee hours of the night with his wee little legs, and just absolutely putting in work to make sure that we have the best possible end result. And to Titan and Marco for letting us use their space as always. It's very, very much appreciated. Thanks, bro. So that's it. And when I see you guys in the next video, I'll actually be in California and I have some pretty cool stuff going on there. So see you soon.